Welcome back to Inside Sources here on KSL News Radio. It's great to be with you today. As always, I am Boyd Matheson, and we're broadcasting today from Utah Valley University at the Utah Valley Growth and Prosperity Summit. And we're going to be broadcasting from here for the entire show today. And I am so excited for our next guest. I've been waiting for this one. Cameron Martin is the newly minted president and CEO of Rocky Mountain University. And Cameron, this is sort of old home week for you as well. You've been around this kind of event and gathering for Utah Valley for a long time.
I have. In fact, even here at Utah Valley University, I spent 20 years of my life here.
Yeah.
When I left, I had 16 groundbreaking shovels. And my wife wanted me to take home. I'm like, well, why? But anyway, yeah, it's great to be back here. It's always great to be a support of Utah Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, and I know you were part of a lot of those early conversations going back to 2018 in terms of what should Utah Valley look like? What does growth and prosperity really look like?
It's true. At that time, I was appointed as the president of the chamber, and so you're faced with what's your vision, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, you know what? The chamber really needs to understand its role and its power of convening.
Yeah.
You always like to say good policy is fed on good principle.
Yeah.
So what's the principle that we're going to base our policy and our actions as a chamber on?
Yeah.
And that has to be bringing people together,
talking
about the various needs of our community and how do we want to shape it.
Yeah.
And it's not to say no to things. It's to say, how do we do things?
Yeah, the how we do it, I think, and that convening, bringing people together. I think one of the amazing things in this summit is just that. It brings people from all different aspects of business and community and education and government together. And again, you've been part of so many of those conversations, Cameron. I want to get to your current role because I think it has a really unique role in what Utah Valley Growth and Prosperity looks like. So give us a little rundown for those who aren't familiar. I know you've been around for 25 years now, Rocky Mountain University.
That's true.
But give us the story and why are you sitting in that chair now?
I'm sitting in the chair because I believe in what the institution stands for and does. You know, it was founded by some people who had a great vision. These are individuals who didn't even take a paycheck for 10 years, but they believed their cause so much.
Wow.
But they wanted to get that flywheel turning, and that's establishing a university dedicated to meeting the unmet needs of humanity. I summarize our mission in 5 words: to improve the human condition. And these founders were laser focused on that, as am I. What can we do? And we offer a variety of degrees. They're all master's or doctorate degrees. So you're physician assistant, physical therapy, nurse practitioner, speech language pathology, counseling, which is really big and critical. We've learned about earlier in the earlier session here today. A myriad of other programs that we do at that master's and graduate level. And we train people to help people in their time of need. How good of a mission is that? I mean, that's what it's all about.
It doesn't get any better than that.
No,
and I love the fact that Rocky Mountain is, in that healthcare space, in that mental health space as well, as you just mentioned, and it is making sure we have people to meet those needs, and clearly in Utah Valley in particular, and so many other places, because I know Rocky Mountains reaches so much further.
True. We're a national organization, but we also play local. We have 6 clinics, pro bono, and we'll accept those without insurance or with insurance for their various needs. We're here to meet and help people in their time of need, right? And training people to do that, that's magic. That's really magic. I can get behind that all day long.
It is. And having had a chance to interact with some of your staff and some of your core team, the vision I know is amazing over the 25 years, and I also know it's just the beginning. So give us some of that next step vision.
Oh, next step is great because what we need are more partners. We need help people to be more aware of who we are and what we do. And we are enlisting the help of the community, not only as in, hey, let's help you with some fundraising, or I have a neighbor, or I have employees, or I have students at our school, their parents or their family can't get the services they need. Take eye care, for example. We have an eye institute. If you can't read, what does that lead to, right? Truancy and everything else. So, and sometimes they can't read is due to an eye issue. And let's resolve that, and let's help people do that. Our future is bright. I like to say that what we are about is to love and lift, right? And I use those words purposely. To love, to see somebody for who they are, meet them where they are, and then we lift them by deploying the skills that we teach our students to have, to lift them to a greater quality of life. And I think there's a lot we can do with virtual reality, artificial intelligence. Let's lean into that.
Yeah.
Let's break down these barriers, because we're a national institution, but why aren't we international? Yeah. I mean, the need is great. When it comes to the U.S., people are like, I want to still be at the U.S. I want to be educated by a U.S. educational healthcare provider, because the bar of standard is so great.
Yeah.
So let's help the world.
I love that. If you're just joining us, we are at the Utah Valley Growth and Prosperity Summit here on the campus of Utah Valley University. We're with Cameron Martin, President and CEO of Rocky Mountain University, newly minted president there, I will add, with a great vision. And the thing that I love about this kind of conference is it does bring everyone together, and you kind of get to have that moment of the therefore what question.
Yes.
You can come together, you convene, you have great conversations. But for you in particular, and for Rocky Mountain specifically, what's the therefore what of this kind of conference?
Well, again, the message is about what we can do to help organizations and their companies. Let's take how many students in the public ed pipeline, or even at MTech and their families. How can we help them? They need to be aware of us.
Yeah.
We've been around for 25 years, but people like, now, where are you? And we're on the old Novell campus, South Provo, just to answer that question. What do you do? Graduate healthcare training. But we need to be more present, and to be about here. We've talked about healthcare. That's one of the pillars that the growth and prosperity is about, and as well as workplace and job functions. Utah, you know this, Boyd, is the fastest growing state in the union, and Utah County is one of the fastest growing counties. The need for specialized healthcare is only getting more and more of a cry for help, right? Yeah. I'm waiting for time to get into my doctor, but I actually see my PA, and I have great service from my PAs, from my dermatology and others. It's a great field to be in, and we're helping this state as it grows. So being a part of this summit and being a part of this conversation leads to good things.
Yeah.
So what are the specifics? Well, some of them we have to find out, because we're having these conversations today.
Yeah. It's so important. It's such a vital thing in terms of the growth. To make sure that we have the growth right, and that people have access to the kinds of things that you're talking about, Cameron, that I think are so important in terms of that careful stewardship. I think that's also such an important part of the conversation here. It is a stewardship approach to planning, to envisioning, and to creating a better future for everyone. Give us one last thought and what people should be maybe thinking differently about as we roll forward, especially here in Utah Valley.
Well, I like the quote from Max Planck. He's a German physicist. You may have, because you're so well read, you may have heard this. And it's a simple thought, but it is, when you change how we look at things, what we look at changes. Yeah. And what we need to see is the future, not be scared of it. Let's embrace it. Let's talk about it. I think we can, Congressman Curtis talked about this.
Yeah.
Talk about 50 years, 20 years out. I think we can find a lot of common ground.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not. But let's talk about the future, and let's back into that.
Back it up.
And how can we join forces and not play this scarcity mentality?
Yeah.
Right? There's abundancy.
Yeah.
Let's help one another. You bring things to the table. I bring things to the table. Let's leverage these things to make sure we have a great place to live, learn, work, and play.
Love that. Live, learn, work, and play. It's an abundance mentality, not a zero-sum game that we often hear coming out of Washington. Cameron Martin, President and CEO of Rocky Mountain University. Love what you're doing there. It's something for everybody to keep their eye on. We're broadcasting live throughout the afternoon today from the Utah Valley Growth and Prosperity Summit. We're here on the campus of Utah Valley University. We've got some extraordinary guests continuing to come. Again, really grateful to have Cameron Martin join us for this segment.
Thank you.
We're going to take